And good Monday morning. Our weekends go some kind of fast, don't they? Blink of an eye, they're over. Big weekend, a lot of sunshine, and a lot of events went on. We'll go over a few of those here in a moment to discuss everything that happened. Some great times and some great events over the weekend. As we begin today, it's 63 as we'll get warm today, 89 for a high. It's a bunch there. A lot happening over the weekend. As we'll get into the breakdown of what we have, some arrests, some things that went on, a few shootings, all this in our community, and then a quick look at what's going on nationally. We'll get all of that here in just a moment. As we glance at radar to start the day, let's take a look and see what we've got so far. All clear for the most part across the state of Mississippi. We are showing some fog in the southern part of Mississippi, down on Highway 90, Interstate 10, if you're going to be going through there from Biloxi, around Moss Point, and those areas there, a lot of fog there. We are also picking up some over near Picayune. If you're going to be in that area traveling, 59, some heavy fog there as it goes into Highway 11 across Mississippi 43 and on into Folsom, this area here around Covington, Louisiana. If you're going to be in there, y'all be careful. Bogalusa, y'all have got a lot of fog as well. Something to plan your day if you're in those areas. But look at that. For the most part, perfect weather, sunshine, and we got a bunch of heat coming. We'll discuss the forecast on the way this morning to let you know exactly what's going to happen to plan your week. It'll be beautiful, though. I'll give you that much as we start. As I mentioned, over the weekend, a beautiful day. If you had a chance to go out to Collinsville, that kicked off early Saturday morning as we look at a few pictures of the car show that was going on. Of course, probably one of the most recognizable cars around. Beautiful. As you go through this, it was a lot of these out there, from Camaros, Ford trucks. We even had a Trans Am in the background there. Beautiful cars. Hope you had a chance to see that. This was over at the church, 57. A lot of trucks involved also. Let's see here. Yeah, as the pictures keep coming, a lot of cars were in it. Hope you had a chance to see this. We even had a couple of 56. There's Justin Watt's car. But a lot of fun there and a ton of people. I walked around for a couple of hours, got to shake hands. I appreciate everybody stopping and saying hello. It was fun. Enjoyed my day out there. A lot of barbecue. I know the volunteer fire department was selling fish plates, hamburgers. Hope you enjoyed that. And then as the afternoon progressed, everything shifted to downtown Meridian. This was a huge success. Bud and Bowling is what they called it, as we take a look at what went on in downtown Meridian. That was the scene there at the courthouse. Got to eat a bunch of crawfish if you like that. There's a lot of folks come out for this. Hope you enjoyed it. Got to vote on who you thought had the best. And I should know the winners, and I don't have that in front of me of who done that. Interesting group up there that sang a lot of country music, if you like that. And who is this guy here? I'm trying to see if I still got his picture here. That's what the trophies look like. This guy here, a internet sensation, TikTok star, something stale cracker, I think is what they called him. Big. He does a lot of cooking online. A Louisiana version of that. So here he is, another picture of him here. He was taking pictures and shaking hands. But obviously very popular. I've got to get caught up on my internet folks who are famous in the throughout the South. That's big. We also had a report of a wreck in right across the line in Clark County over the weekend. This is the scene, a car overturned there. Wrecks are very dangerous there. Also, we got up near House, Mississippi. We had a camper that overturned. No one was hurt, but as we look at that kind of scary there. Most likely one of those situations to where it got to weaving and took control and then flipped, most likely. That was one of those. As we go to our next, we pass along condolences on this. Late yesterday afternoon, we did get reports of a motorcycle crash and loss of life happened there right south of Scuba as we got into this yesterday afternoon. Again, we pass along condolences on this. So sad that anything like this could happen, but it did. Horrible, horrible situation there. We pass along condolences to the family of Robert Yepas, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. That happened late yesterday afternoon there in Kemper County. I think a group was riding cycles. He lost control and hit a guardrail. loss of life there. As we go to our next leading story that went on over the weekend, Lauderdale, Mississippi, late Saturday night was where all this went down. Shots were fired. As we go to sammedia.network to take a look at this, one business was hit, one car, and one person was grazed with a hail of gunfire. Now, as you look at this would have been in the 9700 block of Highway 45 North, Old Highway 45, which is, you pull up this map and you get here. Here sits the CEFCO, the Texaco here. It would have been one of these right behind there where gunfire was going toward Highway 45. Again, a car was hit, the back of the business was hit, and one person was grazed by a bullet. As usual, when things like that break out, they scatter those who did that. This is an ongoing investigation by the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. They probably will be making an arrest in this very shortly as witnesses were on the scene there. So if you were right around midnight, I think it was at 11:56 as I talked to Ward about that is when the call came in on that. Last night, also overnight in the city of Meridian, a car chase ended in a wreck. He wasn't as good a NASCAR driver as he thought he was. As we go to the map to take a look at this, here's Highland Park. The chase started and ended here at 34th and 20th Street. It was no injuries involved, but he did lose control, wreck his car real close to the fire station there. As we look at that, here's Highland Baptist, and that's where it all ended right there. As we often see a lot of crime in this area here. Yet again, a car chase there over the weekend. That's where that went on, just to update you on the very latest that we have there. And speaking of different shootings, let's just go over what I know about. Now, 99% of these are just nothing more than shots. No one was injured, but they were shots fired. On Friday night, shots were fired in the area of 22nd and 24th Street, 42nd Avenue and 20th Street, 19th and 10th Street. Also Saturday, shots were reported in the 22nd Avenue, 24th Street area, and 17th Avenue and 22nd Street. As far as I know, last night was kind of quiet on gunfire. We didn't have any of that in the county. They were too busy trying to stop that fellow there. It was a calm night, and we needed that, without a doubt. That's a few of the things that went on overnight there as we watched all this. As we get toward next weekend, be ready for this. If you've been holding stuff around the house, don't know what to do with it, Hazardous Waste Day is coming. Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass. Out at the Lauderdale County Agri Center, I showed the wrong thing. Here we go. Hazardous Waste Day. Right there. It's going to be at the Ag Center, and it kicks off this coming May the 14th from 8 until 2 p.m. If you've got something that needs hauled off, come on out. Make sure to do that. And that's aerosol cans, batteries, if you've got motor oil, anything like that. Old pesticides, old paint. They'll get rid of all that for you. All you have to do is drop it off. Don't forget, later today in Philadelphia, as money is trying to be raised for Richard Ferguson and his wife, Alexa, they're going to be at Vowell's Market from 10 until 2 today, selling tickets to the barbecue plates that are going to be sold and the concert and the raffle. They'll be in there in the parking lot of Vowell's today from 10 until 2. If you drop in to see Mr. Ray, they'll help you there. Get you a ticket or two. Miss Carol will be there also. As we look around for this across the state, Mississippi, also along with Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas, are being farmers are going to be able to apply for drought loans. This would be able to where you could purchase more cattle if you had a livestock equipment. Also be used to refinance some things that are going on with your farm if you had any drought issues. That's good for the American farmer. Mississippi, a part of that, along with Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas. More of that. As we see that a man has been sentenced to life in prison for the murder of a 25-year-old Ocean Springs, back in the news this morning. Happened at a nightclub parking lot. He stood trial, and he's been sentenced. If I pronounce his name right, Deshad Jones. He's 43, 21-year record of criminal activity. It ends as he goes off to prison. 25 years. We'll see how long you actually serve before you're up for parole. Also in Jackson, Mississippi, over the weekend, a man has pled guilty to starting a fire at apartment complex. Fired a few rounds also. That was big news in Jackson over the weekend also. As we go to Carthage, any folks from Carthage watching this morning? The Carthage Police Department is requesting assistance. They're looking for Antonio Banks as we go to their Crime Stoppers page there in the Carthage area. This is who they're looking for right there. As you look at this, he is wanted for aggravated domestic violence, possession of a weapon by a felon, and drug court violation. He's 40 years old. 44 rather, 5'7" and 145 pounds. If you've seen him, contact the police department there in Carthage. They'd like to have a little chat with him, so to speak. Good morning over there to Jenny Bertel. Glad to see you watching today. Well, also look at this. Marty Stewart got a statue. Pretty big deal for Marty as he continues to get the museum ready there in Philadelphia. Proud of Marty. He's done very well. See Marty, pat him on the back. But they've got the statue of him, and they're unveiling that in his honor there. That happened in Jackson. Proud for him. We go back to New Orleans. You remember a few days ago when we brought up that 3 teenagers fell into the Mississippi River and their bodies were not found. They have recovered the second body, this time of the 14-year-old girl that was there. Horrible situation. They found her body late Thursday afternoon. They've identified that. How horrible. As we look around some headlines across the United States today, Chicago, Mother's Day. 18 people were shot, 4 killed. That's Chicago. Defund the police, they said. Real smart, wasn't it? Elon Musk was threatened over the weekend by the head of a Russian space agency. He joked about it. He tweeted a tweet out joking about it, and his mother didn't find it so funny. Everybody's got a mama. They'll get on you. Disney, are they learning their lesson? Have you noticed there hasn't been one peep, as they were all vocal on the events that came out about the bill to where not to teach children about sex in Florida. If you remember, they were very vocal on that. They have not opened their mouth, not one time, about the Supreme Court leak that came out about Roe versus Wade. One word. Their stocks plummeted. Do y'all remember that? The more they talk, the further their stocks fall. That's Disney. The next thing that they're warning on this, as if you've seen all the pictures and all the stories of this, of mothers, more or less of a panic not being able to buy baby formula. We'll talk about this a little bit more at 8 o'clock this morning, and why the White House stepped in, done a little bit more to ensure that the babies in the United States do get the nutrition and things that they need. But pediatricians are warning not to make baby formula at home. Apparently that's a thing. I didn't know you could do that. But they're saying it may not be so good to do that. I guess some people just don't quite know how to make the recipe. I don't know enough about it, but we had to have baby food before it came in a store. Just thinking, but they're warning about that. It could cause problems. That's a few of the headlines across America this morning as we begin this Monday. How are you feeling? I hope good there. Coming back, we'll take a look at the forecast to begin this day to let you know exactly what to expect all week long. What's it going to do? All that's on the way. Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. And welcome back as we begin this day. As one thing that I failed to mention over the weekend, we did have a stabbing confirmed that happened on 7th Street and 34th Avenue. Now, it was minor, but they ended up having to go to the hospital for that. Also investigating the possibility of another stabbing last night. And this just goes to prove of no matter what it is, if you've got, a lot of people say it's all guns. There is a lot in the area without a doubt. But folks that break the law and do things will find other weapons when those are not available. Just a little reminder of that. But we're looking into a second stabbing in the Meridian area. None of them serious or anything, but boy, the arguments that people get into and pull weapons, I don't get it. Do you? I was glancing back over this. Also, we had an arrest in Kemper County as a correctional officer, Katrina Sledge. She was from the Sugar Lock area, more or less bringing in contraband to the prison there. She's been arrested. Cigarettes, money, cell phones, common thing. You know, we saw that in Jackson last week at a correctional facility where they were trying to be a little bit creative, where they were using drones to drop contraband into the jail area. She was an employee there. She's been arrested and can't get away with that. It does catch up with you there. That happened in Kemper County over the weekend. We say good morning to, let's see here, also Donna Roseman. How are you? Miss Mary, how are you? Gradeau, maybe I pronounced it better today. I'm working on my Cajun speaking. Mike Dallas, good morning to you. Tommy Ainsworth wants to thank everybody for coming out to the American Rodeo on Friday and Saturday night there at the Lauderdale County Agri Center. Hope you enjoyed that. Big rodeo, lots of folks out. Denny Bryan, good morning to you. Charlotte Gray, Bree Packer is up. Mary Ruth, how are you? Miss Mary Ruth Dennis, glad to see you're here. Miss LaWanda Grantham, Julie Alvin is up. Miss Gressett, to Corey, glad to see you. A lot of people there. So many of you, and what a beautiful day we're going to have. Connie Johns. And speaking of, let's get into the forecast and see what we've got. We'll also look at the radar, make sure we hadn't missed anything around the area.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back on this record highs and record lows, 1955. It was a warm day, 93. We're going to get mighty close to that today. We may not break the record, but it'll be close. 1917, record low of 40. As you'll notice, each day the record lows keep getting a little bit higher and higher as we get into May. But 40 back in 1917. And no, I wasn't around for that. Been a little while, hadn't it? What do we expect today? It looks like sunshine. We'll get a high of 89 in Meridian as we go northward. Pretty much the same all the way through Philadelphia as we get into Louisville. A tad bit cooler at Mississippi State. And when I say a tad bit cooler, we're looking at about 87 at Mississippi State. As we go southward to Hattiesburg, about 90, over to Brookhaven, 91. And Natchez and Vicksburg, that area on the western side of the state, looks like it may hold it. 92 is what we're expecting, a warm day in those areas. As we come across to Alabama, Demopolis looks to be about 87, and we'll have about 88 there in Livingston, Alabama, and following that Boyd, Alabama, there on Highway 17, those areas there. Not bad at all, is it? Over to Auburn, cooler. 80 degrees at Auburn, Alabama, if you're going to be in that neck of the woods. As we look at this, we're not through with this warm weather as we go for a 6 to 10 day outlook, as temperatures will be above average, and we've got another heat wave on the way from the California IA area. Matter of fact, let's look at our 7-day forecast now and do the breakdown for you. Sunshine today. Couldn't be any better there. 87 to 89 is what is expected. We'll get back to 89 tomorrow. Tonight's low, well, 62. Not so low, is it? Same thing for tomorrow night, 63. As we make it to midweek, what looks to be one of our hottest days, 92 is expected. Thursday, about the same at 91. And on to the weekend. And Saturday, we start seeing a chance of showers in the afternoon, as well as on Sunday afternoon. Nothing major, but a shower or two. We'll watch this on these thunderstorms on Sunday to make sure that doesn't change. Now, let's go ahead and look into May the 23rd. And as you look at this outlook, isn't that kind of scary? We're at May the 23rd, 2 weeks out, which means June is not really that far off, is it? And we're just deadlocked into the 90s as we look at that 6 to 10 day outlook, showing that those temperatures are rising. Nothing has reached that double alt mark yet, but we're mighty close there, 95, about the 20th of the month. It's flying. Just to let you keep that in mind. As we look at our fishing calendar today, we go to Chet's Paint and Body to find out what it's going to be. As we look at our first major time this morning, if you can be out at 8 o'clock, fish to about 10, Be your best of luck there. You get a second time a little later on in the afternoon. It's minor, 2 o'clock to about 3 o'clock. Not as good as the morning fishing today. So if you're planning on doing that, that's a quick look at that. So there you go. That's a rundown of the headlines. We're going to go deeper into all of this coming up at 8 o'clock as Candace will join us. We'll talk about all the events and everything that went on over the weekend. Join us. Well, might all learn something together. Looking forward to seeing you back. And again, we'll kick into that right at 8 o'clock this morning. So join us back for that. Again, right now, 63 as we start this day. I'm waiting for a high of about 89. We'll be back soon. Thank y'all for coming by. We appreciate it. I see Alicia Fisher there. Also, Wayne Blackwell up. Good morning. Joyce Poole is up. Glad to see you there. Miss Connie Johns. Again, we'll be back very shortly from now. Thanks for dropping by. We'll keep you updated with the very latest.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: